This is Albert, and he's a freelance data analyst.
I actually tripled my income by working 1 day less per week.
And the thing is, he tripled his income
I earn 50K a month
while working less,
while going on a sabbatical for a few months in South America.
and by doing the exact same work he was doing before he started freelancing. So why is it then that not everybody is freelancing?
Good question.
And today I asked him how exactly he became a tech freelancer and to share his secrets
That's a recipe for disaster. So one major important tip is really
and break down how anybody watching this can do the same. If you could give one piece of advice to tech professionals out there watching this, how to find a high-paying freelance project as fast as possible, what would you say?
I would say
Hi Albert, so you're a tech freelancer. How long have you been freelancing for now?
1.5 years.
What is it you actually do?
Currently I work as a freelance data analyst for an international airport.
So how much do you currently earn?
I earn 50K a month by working 4 days a week.
15K a month?
Correct.
What did you do before you started freelancing?
My first job was as a business consultant. And then I started as a business analyst. I was really fascinated about the technical side. So then I discovered I need to switch to a different company when I can go really more in depth. So that's what I did to see, okay, do I like this or not?
Yeah.
And the answer was I did like it. So that led me into the field of IT, I would say.
How did you find your first freelance project?
LinkedIn.
Did you reach out to people or did someone reach out to you?
They started reaching out to me, and with they I mean recruiters. However, before they start reaching out to me, I set up my profile. And I set this button, I think there's a button where you can say I'm available, but I only set up that button once I knew my LinkedIn page is perfectly clear and concise and to the point.
A question I often get asked is, how do you determine how much to charge as a freelancer?
A good question. I did 2 things in order to benchmark my salary per hour. I did 1, went to LinkedIn, started approaching other freelancers and simply asked the question, what do you do? How much do you earn? That's 1. Second thing, once I set up my LinkedIn page, recruiters started approaching me for projects, and I would ask the same thing. How much do I get per hour for this project to every recruiter? And then after a while, for a few projects, I get a pretty good indication.
All right, so how much did you charge when you started your first project?
I started 85 euros per hour, and that was approximately 1.5 years ago, and I earn now 100 euros per hour.
Do you think you can ever go back to non-freelancing?
No.
Why not?
Multiple reasons. From my perspective, the reason why I chose freelancing is to get more freedom. And freedom in this sense doesn't mean sitting on the beach, just earning money and then doing nothing. But more freedom in how I want to spend my money, how I want to invest my money. And also I see it as a potential opportunity to build wealth sooner. The second thing of freedom is also choosing on what project to work on. And really to be honest, right now I like tech, I like IT. But then maybe 10 years from now, I want to be a barista and not do anything at all.
So what's the biggest difference work-wise as a freelancer compared to as a non-freelancer?
Good question. The biggest difference I would say is there is no difference except for when the paycheck comes in. No, but the unserious answer, that's like a joke, but there is really truth to that. So that's one thing. But I would say the other one is, I wouldn't say I had the pressure, but I feel way less pressure by one manager, the second manager, then senior manager. Everyone has an opinion what you need to do, by whom, for what project, etc. And now I don't have that. So I report only to myself and the client directly, and there's no middleman.
So why is it then that not everybody is freelancing?
Good question. I don't know the exact answer, but my guess would be is that some people simply haven't discovered the red pill yet. That's one. The other thing is unawareness. They don't even know that the possibility exists.
Yeah.
The second one is when people know the thing exists, they think they are not ready for it.
Yeah.
And then the third thing is like when they think they are ready for it, they still think they are not ready for it.
Yeah.
So they keep on postponing the actual step. But those are, I think, the reasons why people don't do it. And maybe a last one is also, it's really easy to stay in comfort zone.
To me, it sounds like only advantages to freelancing, but is there also a disadvantage of freelancing? Like, what's the hardest thing about freelancing?
I think that's very personal. Some might say the hardest thing is finding a project, but I think if you can sell yourself, that is not an issue. So I personally don't have a problem selling myself because I know what I want and how I want to do it. But I think the biggest challenge is uncertainty. So how do you want to deal with uncertainty? And by uncertainty, I mean when the project ends, because all projects will come to an end, you have to be willing to face uncertainty.
And what do you tell people that are on the fence to start freelancing, but are uncertain whether they can find a project, whether they can have more projects? What would you say to them?
One is just start, because you can think 1 hour, 2 hours, 1 day, 1 month, 1 year, but in the end you need to take action. To be honest, I cannot give other advice than just start. However, what you can do is make that more easier for yourself to get the momentum going. So what I would advise people is decide what you want to do, make a step-by-step approach, and start with step 1. And step 1 can be really simple: fix your LinkedIn profile.
Yeah.
That's it. And once you do that, you will notice, I finished milestone 1, I focus on the next one, and you get the momentum going.
Yeah.
So, all in a nutshell, just start. There's no other way around it.
Yeah. And what was the final trigger to take the jump to freelancing?
I didn't get the approval for my sabbatical. So that was the reason to say goodbye and start freelancing, go on sabbatical, and yeah, the rest is history.
Yeah. So you wanted more control, more freedom.
Exactly. So what I've realized is by going the freelance route, in my opinion, I must admit, in all honesty, it's not only it's not only nice things, because of course you have freedom, but you also need to be realistic. But you do have, within boundaries, way more flexibility and way more possibilities and opportunities by going the freelance route.
Yeah.
If you don't do that, you don't take this opportunity, you're missing out.
I get this question a lot. Isn't freelancing risky? What do you tell those people?
If you don't plan, it is. If you plan, it isn't.
Explain.
Well, if you plan ahead, the most stupid thing you can do is quit your job without even having a proposal lying for you. Second thing is, if you have a proposal lying for you, not having a financial backup. So if you plan for it, ideally, you should pick a project once you have confirmation that you can actually start. But there's always a small probability that they will in the end reject because there's no budget, etc. So how can you prepare for that? You cannot. But what you can do is have a backup financially, so that even if it happens, you still can pay the bills and don't, end up on the street, whatever.
Yeah.
And also try to realize it's a two-way street. So on the one hand, they want to hire you for the project, but it's also you that wants the project. So you shouldn't be afraid to say no. If the project is not something which is a fit for whatever reason, then you can also say no and wait for the other possibility or the other opportunity.
Yeah. The scariest thing was, what if your contract doesn't get extended after 3 months, once you got the first project? So how long have you been working there by now?
1.5 years. So I think it's now extended by 3-4 times, I believe.
Yeah.
And there was one time when there was really tricky situation, but that was not because of the company, because the collaboration with the company is going really good. I really like the project, but it was more for the international people, things happening within the government, the Dutch government, and having an impact on the freelance market, etc. So
yeah, that's a Dutch thing. A lot of people were scared because of a law change. In the end, nothing happened.
Yeah, exactly. There were some law changes.
If there is one tool, one platform, or one website you have to use to get freelance projects, which would it be?
I would say LinkedIn, for sure. Because, to be honest, that's the only one I've used, and also it's the biggest one that's around, so yeah, it's pretty clear.
And it's still underrated. A lot of aspiring freelancers think of Fiverr and Upwork first when it comes to freelancing, yet LinkedIn is the one that you would recommend, and me too.
Yeah, for sure. And then I also have a question to you. Why is that? Do you know that? Why people don't use LinkedIn as much?
From talking to literally 100+ people about freelancing, I think a lot of people have a misconception about freelancing, thinking it's some kind of gig work. So, you go to Fiverr and build a little dashboard for, $100 in one day, and then go on to the next one and then the next one. But they don't understand freelancing is just doing the same work you would do as a regular employer, but you just send your own invoices because of the flexibility or whatever reason the employer might have. Those types of clients are on LinkedIn. They're not on Fiverr. You won't find the airport you work for on Fiverr. You won't find a bank on Fiverr, or you won't find whatever on Upwork. The bigger clients are on LinkedIn. But for some reason, people think freelancing, gigs, Fiverr.
Yeah, and it might also have something to do with the perception of some type of work is more related to Fiverr.
Mm-hmm.
And some type of work, especially IT, which is data analyst is part of IT. For IT, it's a more project-based, and project-based, I wouldn't say that Fiverr is unprofessional, but more project-based for more corporate organizations. And for those organizations, then I think LinkedIn is the way to go.
Yeah. If you could give one piece of advice to tech professionals out there watching this, how to find a high-paying freelance project as fast as possible, what would you say?
Fix your LinkedIn, set yourself for availability, and third, reach out to everyone.
I think people underestimate LinkedIn.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, people always want some kind of fancy answer about like this, we have this hidden page on Reddit where you can find freelance. But no, it's not some kind of like dark side somewhere page. It's just LinkedIn is the most accessible platform. Everyone is there, and every freelancer that I talk to in my own network got their job by LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And then the second thing is, once you get more experience, that's also what I have now by talking with recruiters, talking with people, you will build your own network. So at some point, people will start calling you.
So for tech freelancers specifically, is there anything they should do different on their resume?
Also good question. One thing for sure is to differentiate yourself from others by not showing again Stack Overflow things you've solved, again the technical skills, but show something from yourself. Mm-hmm. What are the things next to your work, maybe informal things or your hobbies, which stand out? For example, I knew a guy that was a freelancer, but in his free time he did cave diving. I never heard that before, and it was such an interesting thing. And when I started working for that company, there was the first thing I asked was, cave diving, what is that? So that small thing immediately triggered my interest.
Yeah.
And you really have to understand that people from the business that are doing the interview with you, they are not interested in like how many lines of code you did. They are interested at you as a person, and you can assume they will ask you the questions anyways to see if you're fit with your experience. But they are more interested, are you a fit within the team?
Yeah.
And to be a fit within a team, you can differentiate yourself by showing who you really are.
Yeah, there you go. So if you want to land a tech freelance project, go cave diving.
Exactly.
You've been freelancing for 2 years. Are you going to keep on freelancing for the rest of your life? Are you going to keep on freelancing for the rest of your life? Or what's like your next goal?
I don't know yet. Probably not my whole life. This other thing is I also have some other business ideas I want to pursue to make even more a life of freedom. However, that is so early stage, I need to work it out. But the long-term plan is indeed to use freelance as a, I would say, stepping stone or intermediate kind of step to go for some even long-term goals, such as becoming more entrepreneurial in my own personal space.
And then the last question would be, how do you see the tech freelance market specifically changing over the coming 5 years?
Yeah, that's a very good question. It might sound counterintuitive, but I think in the near future, your personal and business skills will become more important than actually your technical skills.
How so?
Well, what I see, there's a really big gap or vacuum, or how you want to call it, between on the one side, technical people, data analysts, data engineers, and on the other hand, the business people. And the gap in between was traditionally filled with the data analyst. However, with AI coming into place, the technical part will be more automated.
Yeah.
You don't need to do it yourself. However, to really provide business value, you need to have like the personal skills and the business skills, because that will be the only way to actually get your technical solution being adopted by the business. Yeah. And that's what you want to achieve. So my prediction is that your business skills and social skills will become more important than your technical skills.
There you go. Interesting. By the way, I made a video where I explain how I made $350,000, more than that actually, within 2 years as a freelance data analyst, and everything I learned on that journey. So you might want to watch that video next. Well, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing it.